I wasn't doing much home cooking and making home cooked meals was because I didn't have food in the fridge. So how am I going to be consistent with my eating and consistent on...
It's Dreon Sabri.
And today is day 9 of my reinventing myself in 100 days journey, and I've learned quite a few things already. But it showed me how much success depends on how you make life convenient for yourself, and that's kind of what I will talk about in today's video. This week was a little challenging because work got heavy, very demanding this week. I work as a mechanical engineer, and something was wrong on one of the machines one day, so I had to stay late that day. And I remember that Sunday night, I don't know what I was doing before the week started. You know what? My sleep schedule got messed up in the beginning of the week because I had a dream that I quit, y'all. And it woke me up and I couldn't go back to sleep. So that kind of threw off the sleeping for the rest of the week. And I had visitors that whole week training me and all of this. So I was just out of touch. And then because I had visitors, they were taking us out to lunch. So I was like, okay, I don't need to make lunch. But me not making a lunch, I also am not really making dinner. I think I've only made dinner one time that week. And this is kind of like what I was eating throughout the week, just a lot of takeout. And in this journey, especially for the weight loss portion, eating out isn't a bad thing because I do think I make relatively decent choices when I eat. I think the part that kind of got away was portion sizes and timing, and getting to the point where I'm like super hungry or feeling dehydrated. That's not healthy. That's not contributing to my goals. So when I say the importance is to make things convenient for you, because we got to think about contingency plans. We got to think about how we're going to do if we're tired that day. Also, another thing during this week, I'm PMSing, so my period's coming up and my energy levels are low. I'm a little bit more hungry. I'm a little more impulsive. So I have to keep those things in mind as I'm going through a journey like this. And you know, it's not to go ahead and start all over every single time something goes wrong. I'm using this time to now reflect and move forward in a different manner, because I did make progress. You see, I posted a video on YouTube last week, and then I also posted a short, and now I'm recording. So it's not to say I failed, it's just it didn't go 100% as planned. Because the main thing is I don't want to come on here saying I was 100% consistent, and I wasn't. But I do want to show you the reality of, like, this week I did not expect for work to be so demanding. We didn't plan for the machine to be down that long. So it changes your week a little bit, it changes the day. So it's just like, ugh. You know, we don't plan for these things, but we gotta think about how are we going to make our journey so that little disruptions don't throw you completely off. I realized the first week was not my best, and reflecting on it, I was like, I need to make things more convenient for myself. So for the journey, y'all know my main focuses for weeks 1 through 5 is weight loss and YouTube. So in terms of weight loss, how am I going to make that more convenient? A big reason why I did not eat so much I wasn't doing much home cooking and making home cooked meals was because I didn't have food in the fridge. So how am I going to be consistent with my eating and consistent on eating whole foods and stuff that I make when there's nothing in the fridge? So the first step I did Friday was go grocery shopping. I did enough grocery shopping. Most of the stuff in there should last me for another 3 weeks. Night is Sunday night, so I plan on meal prepping for the week. Meal prepping, and things are so that I'm building convenience for myself, so that being healthy is not a hassle. It's just going to be a part of the routine. It's easy to do. Like this week I was consistent on breakfast because I already had something. I do my regular yogurt, almond butter, and granola. If I already have that there, it's easily accessible. But if I don't have nothing ready to go for lunch or dinner, now I'm eating out, because that was another thing. I would eat out because I was like, okay, I go ahead and cook this whole meal, then that takes away from me editing. So it's like, let's get it ready now so that I don't have to worry about falling off. And then even, making sure I'm setting up sleep for myself. Sleep convenient as well. Get the things I need to get done in a good amount of time. Make sure I'm getting up earlier, so that way I'm not trying to get so much done after work, because I've already did a little something in the beginning of the day, like workout. I don't have to go to the gym after work now because I've already woke up. So getting into that routine, so that way it's more convenient after I get off work to focus on my other goal, which is YouTube. And that brings me into, do I make YouTube more convenient for myself? And that looks like making sure my devices are charged. It would suck to plan the batch record one day after work and then come home and all my devices are uncharged, the SD cards are full, I don't have no space on the SD cards, and it makes things a little more difficult. And then another way I make it convenient for me to record is just having a setup already, having my lights set up already, having the camera and tripod set up. Those things help. One of the biggest things we want to focus on, especially when we're going through journeys like this, is to create systems. When you create systems that are convenient for you, it makes it hard to fall off. So being that I went grocery shopping and now I'm about to meal prep today, it's going to be very easy just to grab and go. It's going to be very easy to come home and just put something together real quick and be able to eat dinner without thinking of where I have to go out to, right? Building systems, it removes the decision fatigue, so it makes it way easier to follow through. Let's get into the progress update. In terms of weight, I know I posted something on day 5 and I seen the scale drop a little bit to 258. You think the first day, I think my scale was like 260 something. I think one thing with weight loss, weight fluctuates, so I don't really stick too much to a number. I was a little more consistent this week. I think I would have probably seen that going a little more in the 250s. But I think by the end of next week, so what, day 14, day 13, we should be able to see like a little dip. Yeah, I edited this week, so I did post one time on YouTube. This week I do plan to post 2 or 3 times. I already recorded one video, which was me just talking about the transformation journey. This is the second video I'm recording, and then I'm recording another video for a different series I want to start creating, and that's more of my I think I think overall the good things that are coming out of this is kind of what works for me and learning what will make me be able to be more consistent and show up in my best way. And thing I want to mention about the foundation of these 100 days is kind of what works and learning what doesn't. So that's why I'm giving myself 5 weeks to kind of get in these habits, lock in my style, lock in what's signature for me to accomplish these things. I can say I did have some good wins this week. I was very productive at work, even though that's not on the goal list. I even made a list for the apartment, kind of visual of what I want in my apartment. And oh yeah, signed the lease, so we will be moving into this one apartment. It is so cute. Yeah, drop a little picture in here. It was a very cute apartment, so you'll see the picture of that. I did go to the gym like 2 or 3 times this week, which is good. My goal is, like, I'm not going to the gym that day, is to make sure I'm walking that day. So not bad. I've still been consistent on my water intake, so that's good. Has gotten better, so we're doing good. We're moving in a good direction. So hopefully by next week we can see more greater progress. And honestly, this is me just showing you all that the journey is not going to be perfect, but you need to find a way to reflect and also to move forward so that you can do better. Because if you're not seeing a change, you need to change something you're doing. So if been 1 week, I ain't see no real change in my weight loss. And again, weight loss doesn't just happen overnight. It doesn't happen in 1 week. But if I'm not seeing a 1 pound difference, especially if I'm going in, I need to change what I'm doing. Yeah, this week it was not perfect, but progress isn't about perfection. It's about setting yourself up to win. And that's what I'm learning on this 100-day challenge. I want you to comment some systems and routines that work for you, especially when you're trying to achieve short-term goals. I guess this is short-term because this is only about 3 months. So comment what you do to stay consistent. So bye.